Hello, this is Plenty with Sulo, the venue partner, Department of Coffee, the clothing partner, G Flock, hair and beauty, Beauty Quest. Be tuned to Daily Mirror Online. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Plenty with Sulo. Today we have a unique personality. She's an entrepreneur and she holds the largest coffee house chain in Sri Lanka. She is Anuradha Herath, the managing director of Java Lodge. Hi Anuradha.
Hi, good morning, Sulo.
Good morning, and they will be going on the evening, so we'll say good evening also.
Okay. Good evening too.
So Anuradha, this is just a chit chat, to know your journey and who you are and to inspire everyone. Before we proceed with your story, I just want to ask from you, who is Anuradha?
Okay, first of all, thank you for having me in your lovely show. Anuradha, I am a wife, a mother of two teenagers, and also an entrepreneur. As you mentioned, I enjoy running my own coffee house chain, which is the largest coffee house chain in Sri Lanka.
Yeah. So she basically said, she said this, she's a mother, then the wife, then the entrepreneur, and she enjoys what she does. Now, before we come into anything, I want to know what made you to be an entrepreneur. What was your vision to start Java Lodge? What was the story about it?
Okay. Well, I gradually got there, became an entrepreneur. First of all, I was a student, then I was an undergraduate, then I became a young wife and a mother. Then I took the role of getting into the business.
So what made you to be, because everyone thinks, becoming entrepreneur is very easy, right? But you must have a reason to be an entrepreneur rather than because I know you had a management degree and all that. Right. It's easy to get a job in a corporate life, but you chose to become an entrepreneur.
Right. Well, I worked for 2 years in a bank, and then my next dream was to get married, have a house, buy a car, have children, and have a good life. Then I realized, at one point I am stuck. Like you can buy a house, get a car, but only up to some extent. So beyond that, if you want to expand, I thought it's better that I start my own business.
So you didn't want to be limited yourself, so you started your own business.
That's right.
So Java Launch, why Java Launch?
Before that, I had to mention that I had inspiration at home itself.
Yeah.
My husband is a serial entrepreneur, and he is the one who brought e-commerce to Sri Lanka. So I got very inspired by looking at him, how much he enjoyed having his own business. So, not everyone will have inspiration at home, but I think some inspiration is needed, either from a book or by looking at someone, reading a story. So I got inspiration from my husband, and I love food. And then I was living in the US for 10 plus years, and I got exposed to a lot of cultures from different countries. And I think I always had that passion of, doing something on my own. I had the education background, and I got a lot of support from my husband. So that made me start Java Launch.
Yeah, now since you spoke about your husband, so your husband is I would say, holds his own brand, he's an entrepreneur. A lot of young people, entrepreneurs look up for him. So having the shadow of your husband and starting your own, how do you stand with your own brand and your own identity in the economy space as well as in the society?
Right. Well, entrepreneur might not be good in every field. So he is very good in e-commerce, but it doesn't mean that he is good in the food and beverage industry. So I am good in the food and beverage industry. I feel it's my thing.
Yeah.
So I have my own identity, and I think he loves watching me how I grow the company. He gives me advice. He supports me so much.
End of the day, both look at, okay, this may be my passion, this may be yours, but at the end of the day, we are bringing into our family.
That's right.
Right? So you were more speaking about being a wife, a mother, an entrepreneur. You know, a lot of women feel that, you know, it's a challenge. I know, because I'm an entrepreneur working in a corporate, then came out. So it's not easy. So how do you balance this? Rather than balancing, what will be your roles in those situations? Because I know you have a grown up two kids, but maybe before the grown up kids, they were babies that you have to look up, right? Look after. So how you support your husband being a wife, then being the mother for two kids, and then running a business, looking after employees. So how you have been doing this?
Well, I think a woman has the talent of being a multitasker. So, but as I mentioned earlier, I dedicated my time to my children when they were little, when they were schooling. I remember studying their textbooks so that I could teach them. So at the beginning, I did not spend a lot of time on the business, but eventually once they grew up, when they could be on their own, I started dedicating more time towards the business. And now we are empty nesters, so I have all the time in the world to grow my business and focus on it.
Do you think your children will follow you and your husband, or how?
My son, he already has the entrepreneurial skills. We see that, and he wanted to do a business degree. So same with my daughter. She is now doing business studies as well in the university. But both of us, we have never told them. They just looked at us, and they've decided their path. And we are so proud of them. They are doing really good. And at the same time, I want, especially my daughter, me being a woman entrepreneur, I want to inspire my daughter.
So you are actually, being a mother is always an inspiration for the children who look up for her, not only for the success of business. Now I'm coming to the negatives and the failures of business. You know, people will see the brand name, people will see a success business or entrepreneurship, but there can be a lot of failures for you to build it. So what was the most challenging thing when you were making this brand known to Sri Lanka?
Right. How I started this, we found a market gap for a quality coffee experience in Sri Lanka. That was our main focus. And another challenge, Sri Lanka always had the tea culture.
Yeah.
So getting into a tea market with a coffee house experience was quite challenging at the beginning. And we somehow managed. We have our regular customers who love the brand. And
you all not just sold the coffee, you all put a working culture, where the people can hang out. And you all brought the technology, the mixer also. Right. So what made you all to think on it that way?
Well, we wanted to create a coffee experience. Usually in a restaurant, somebody goes to a restaurant, they go for price, or they just go there for food. But I wanted to create that environment where, even students, entrepreneurs come there, they brainstorm ideas, and even mothers, they drop their children to school and they want a break, they want to hang out and have a chit chat with friends. Then even for students, they come here, they study. So we always, beyond the coffee, we always try to give an experience to them. I think that's one of the success.
So it's, even though it's a coffee, you all were trying to give something experiencing. And also I remember when you all were in the initiative, you all were saying, it's coffee, but there's more to coffee, right? So I think that's where when the women come, they bring their passion and they give something more than what they sell.
You're right.
Right? Yes. So that's what you were doing it. But, very recently, I realized that I know you are a top 50 award winner, but then when I went to the cinema and how they looked up for you, and I saw your speech at the school. Right? So being, you are coming from that background and giving back to the nation, how you look at as a woman giving back to her society?
I want to inspire young people as much as possible. I want to tell them, be inspired by something and get some experience, and then always, start your own business. Don't let gender define your success. So,
Okay, that's a good one. Don't let the gender define.
Yes, sometimes we label ourselves as women entrepreneurs, but don't think about the women part. Just focus on being an entrepreneur and you will succeed. Focus on the
Good one, yes. Sometimes I also do that mistake. Okay, you're a women entrepreneur. No, the entrepreneurship has no gender.
Right.
Same as the leadership has no gender. And it goes vice versa, where the responsibilities also has no gender, right? So coming back to this thing and the challenges and everything, I'm going to ask you, if you got a chance to choose being a entrepreneur, being a corporate leader, or being a stay-at-home mom, what will be your choice?
Being an entrepreneur, I would think twice about it. Well, one of the reasons is now that my children are gone, I would be left with nothing to do at home. I'd rather, give as much as to the society and to the employees, and contribute to the family economy, contribute to the the Sri Lankan economy. When you have a company, there are thousands of people who depend on you. Their families depend on you. So we are very responsible for their well-being, as well as my well-being. I am responsible for their well-being. So I want to make people happy with the coffee experience, make my employees happy, and then we at our company we have a family culture. So it's not just that employer-employee relationship. We go beyond that. So I love taking care of my employees.
So then the other one is because, in Sri Lanka, I was just having a chat with a single mom today morning, and she was telling me, it's hard to get a supportive husband to support when you're an entrepreneur. And Sri Lanka has many successful women, but many of them are single or not married, now separated. But you say your husband is the most supportive. So therefore, I'm going to, because I want the young people to get inspired. Your success doesn't define from your marriage. You can have a successful marriage and a successful entrepreneurship and a career.
Right.
So what is your advice to the viewers who are very young, who look up for entrepreneurs? What is your advice to the young entrepreneurs who think about the economy and themselves in a new way?
Well, people are different. In my case, I was so lucky to have the best supportive system and the inspiration from home. It is, I don't know whether it's to say luck or what you work towards it. It depends on each person.
Yeah.
So I would say put in as much as possible. If you are a good mother, and you can still, work your way through your career in the corporate world or the entrepreneurship world.
And they should know how to negotiate with their, communicate and negotiate with their spouses.
Absolutely, absolutely. Communication is very important, and that confidence is also very important.
The first time when you asked from your husband saying, I want to become an entrepreneur, what was his answer to you?
Oh, he was more than happy. In fact, he's the one who kept pushing me, just take over the whole role, take over the whole company. And then I know that he enjoys watching me perform and making Javalon sustainable.
So your advice is for the young people is take one day and be a mother and do that, because sometimes in your case it's a luck, but then you can't say it luck for everyone.
Right.
It depends on the situation.
Exactly.
Okay. Final question for me. Do you thinking of exporting your brand to a global market?
I want to. That's actually my plan. Actually, we got lucky before the crisis. We went through this massive economic crisis, but then we survived through that. And before the crisis, we had 7 outlets. And I always tell the younger people, it's a great story to be inspired with. And after the crisis, we increased it to 14 outlets. So I took everything as a challenge. And now, actually, we are going to open 2 more outlets in Sri Lanka.
Okay.
We are expanding out of Colombo. We had 12 in Colombo, 2 in Kandy, and we are opening 1 in Waligama and Ambuluwa end of this year. And our next goal is to, as you said, to go to Maldives, which we heard has a very big potential for a
there's
coffee
a lot
market.
of coffee market.
Yeah,
Yes.
and then we are looking at Bangladesh, Pakistan, reaching out the Asian market.
Great. Okay, wishing you all the very best.
Thank you so much.
Today, we had Anuradha Herath, who is the managing director of Java Lodge. She said entrepreneurship was her passion because she had her own inspiration. And also she said being a mother or being a wife does not stop her to become who she is. And if she's given a choice to become a stay-at-home mom or a career person, she will choose to be an entrepreneur. That's her passion. What will be your passion? This is Plenty with Sulo. Be tuned to Daily Mirror Online.